Hey folks, how's it going? This is Fred Levi. I'm the Vice President of Sales at Approve My Score, and I wanted to talk to you guys about 8 types of unsecured business loans and cards that every business owner should know about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Secured and unsecured financing. In the business lending arena, there are two main types of financing. We have secured financing, which includes money that requires some type of asset to be pledged as collateral for the loan. And then we also have unsecured financing. And this type of money doesn't require any collateral for approval. Unsecured financing is financing that is not secured by any kind of collateral, meaning it's money that's unsecured. Nothing is pledged as collateral for the debt. And if the borrower defaults, the lender can pursue the borrower legally and their assets, but they don't have a right to just take certain assets just due to the default. Okay, and per the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, 1 out of 5 businesses are going to fail within their first year in business, and within 5 years, nearly half of those will close their doors. And in 15 years, 75% of businesses will close down for good. Most businesses do fail, making the business lending space very risky. With secured financing, the lender would just take back the asset that was pledged as collateral, and this helps them to quickly get back part of their loss. And since the risk isn't as high with secured financing, borrowers can often get really good interest rates, sometimes as low as 2 to 5%. Unsecured financing is the most risky type of business lending because if the borrower defaults, the only way the lender can get back their loss is to pursue legal action. And legal action can be very costly and not something any lender wants to pursue. And this is part of why unsecured financing is such a high risk and why some of the rates you're going to see will be much higher than secured financing. So types of unsecured financing, let's go ahead and get into that. Most banks offer unsecured business credit cards, and most of them do report to the consumer credit reporting agencies. They all require a personal guarantee from you, and you can get approved usually for 1 card max, as they stop approving you when you have 2 or more inquiries on your credit report. Chase Inc. Plus, get 50,000 points, which is about a $625 value when you spend $5,000 in your first 90 days. There's no annual fee for your first year, and then there's a 15 to 24% APR. And on the cash advances, you're looking at about 19.24%. And I have the link here. If you wanted to go ahead and pause the video, you can go ahead and take this link down, and you'd always be able to apply here. And getting back to it, you get 5 points for every dollar you spend on office supplies and 2 points for every dollar you spend on gas and dining. And then you also get a point per dollar everywhere else. So on this Chase Inc. Cash Business Card, you're looking at about 13.24% APR with a 24.99% cash advance APR. And again, if you needed to take this link down, please pause the video so you can go ahead and write it down and you can apply for it later. We have another card that we're going to talk about, which is the Capital One Spark Miles for Business, or the Spark Cash Select for Business, or Spark Miles Select for Business. And this is about 1.5 to 2 miles per dollar. So interest rates range from about 12.9 to 20.9% APR and a 24.9% APR for cash advances. Again, please pause the video if you wanted to apply for this type of credit card, but there's a link. I just wanted to show it to you guys so that you guys can be more familiar with what you guys are looking at. Moving on, there's also the American Express Simply Cash Business Card, the Enhanced Gold Rewards Card, and the Blue for Business Card. Again, 1 to 3 points per dollar spent, approximately 11.24 to 19.24% APR, and a 23% APR for cash advances. Again, please pause the video if you needed to take down this link to go ahead and apply for this type of account. Getting back to unsecured business financing, typically when you apply for a credit card, you put an inquiry on your consumer report, and when other lenders see these, they won't approve you for much more credit because they don't know how much other credit that you've recently obtained. So they'll only approve you if you have less than 2 inquiries on your credit report within the last 6 months, and more will get you declined. With UBF, you work with a lender who specializes in securing business credit cards, and UBF, I'm sorry, unsecured business financing. We're going to use that as an acronym. So if you ever hear me say UBF, just know that I'm talking about the unsecured business financing. And it's a very rare, very little known about the program that few lending sources offer. They can usually get you 3 to 5 times the approvals that you can get on your own. And this is because they know the sources to apply for, the order to apply, and can time their applications so that the credit card issuers won't decline you for other credit card inquiries. The result of their services is that you usually get up to 5 cards that mimic the credit limits of your highest limit accounts now. Meaning if you have a $12,000 credit card, you might be able to get that type of credit limit spread across 5 credit cards. Okay. Multiple cards create competition, and this means you can usually get your limits raised typically within about 6 months or less of your initial credit approval. And with UBF, they actually get you 3 to 5 business credit cards that report only to the business credit card reporting agencies. And this is huge, something most lenders don't offer or advertise. Not only will you get the money, but you build your business credit also. So within about 3 to 4 months, you can then use your newly established business credit to get you even more money. And the lender can also get you low intro rates, typically 0% for about 6 to 18 months, sometimes up to 21 months. You'll then pay normal rates after that, typically 5 to 21% APR with about a 20 to 25 APR for cash advances. And they'll also get you the best cards for points, meaning you get the best rewards. And just like with anything, there are huge benefits in working with a source who specializes in this area. The results will be much better than if you try to go at it alone. Approval limits, like I said, will mimic that of your personal cards now. So approvals usually range from about $2,000 to $50,000, and you'll get usually 3 to 5 cards. So that means you can get up to 5 times that of your highest credit limits now. And approvals can go up to $150,000 per entity, such as a corporation. Now, you must have excellent personal credit now, preferably over 700 credit score. The same as well with all business credit cards. You shouldn't have any derogatory credit reported to get approved. And you must also have open revolving credit on your consumer report now. And you'll need to have 2 inquiries or less within the last 6 months reported. All lenders in this space charge 9 to 12% success-based fee, and you only pay the fee off of what you secure. So remember, you get a ton of extra benefits and about 3 to 5 times more money with this program than you get on your own, which is why there's a fee. And the same is all well other lending programs as well. Okay, you can get approved using a guarantor or a cosigner, and you can even use multiple guarantors or cosigners to get even more money. So consumer reporting, what is it? There are also other cards you can get using the same program, but these cards only report to the consumer reporting agencies, not the business reporting agencies, and they're consumer credit cards versus business credit cards. They do provide similar benefits, including 0% intro APRs and 5 times the amount of approval of a single card, but they're much easier to qualify for. You can get approved with a 680 score and 5 inquiries in the last 6 months. You can have a bankruptcy on your credit and other derogatory items, and these are much easier to get approved for than the unsecured business financing business cards. With all previous cards mentioned, you need to have good consumer credit to get approved. But what if your personal credit isn't good and you don't have a guarantor? Well, this is when building business credit makes a ton of sense. Even if you have good personal credit, building your business credit helps you get even more money and without a personal guarantee. So, business credit is credit in a business name that's linked to the business's EIN, not the social of the owner. So when done properly, business credit can be obtained with no personal credit check and no personal guarantee, something all other cards mentioned can't deliver. So unsecured vendor accounts. Most consumer credit starts with secured credit cards or an account that has a well-established cosigner, but cosigned accounts and secured accounts really aren't popular or widely used in the business world. Most business credit starts with vendor accounts instead. And vendor accounts are accounts that typically offer terms such as a net 30 instead of revolving. So if you get approved for $1,000 in vendor credit and use all $1,000 of it, you need to pay that amount back in a set term, and such as within 30 days on a net 30 account. A net 30 account would need to be paid in full within 30 days. In contrast, a net 60 account would need to be paid off in full within 60 days. Unlike with revolving accounts, you have a set time you must pay back what you borrow or the credit card you used. So to start your business credit profile the right way, you need to get approved for vendor accounts that report to business credit reporting agencies. And once you've done this, you can then use the credit, pay back what you used, and the account gets reported to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, or Equifax. And once reported, then you have trade lines, an established credit profile, and an established credit score. Using your newly established business credit profile and score, you can then get approved for cash credit and eventually store credit without needing to supply your social security number or personal guarantee. And this is possible because now your EIN credit profile is established and can stand on its own. So if you leave your social security number off of the application, the credit issuer then pulls your EIN credit, sees a solid profile and score, and can then approve you for real revolving credit. So getting initial business credit, you're going to need 5 payment experiences to start getting approved for revolving store credit cards using your EIN only for approval. And these are credit cards at places like Best Buy, Lowe's, Staples, Amazon, Dell, Apple, Walmart, and so on. You'll then need a total of 10 payment experiences to get approved for cash credit such as Visa and MasterCard type credit. And to get that cash credit, you'll also need to have one of those payment experiences have a $10,000 limit or higher, at least to start getting nice limits on the cash credit you secure. So starter vendor accounts, you must start a business credit profile and score with starter vendors. Starter vendors are ones who will give you initial credit even if you have no credit, no score, or no trade lines now. And most stores like Staples will not give you initial starter credit, so don't even try applying. Laughlin Associates, this is a true starter vendor. They deal with corporate setup and compliance. They report to Experian, and to get approved, all you'll need is a 411 listing and an EIN. And these report in about 30 to 60 days, and their terms are net 30. Okay. Another true starter vendor is Quill Office Supplies. They offer office supplies, packaging, and cleaning supplies. They report to Dun & Bradstreet and must place an initial order first unless your Dun & Bradstreet score is established. And usually they'll put you on a 90-day prepayment schedule. If you order items each month for 3 months, they'll typically approve you for a net 30 account. Another true starter vendor is Uline Shipping Supplies, and they have items such as shipping, packing, and industrial supplies. Who do they report to? They report to Dun & Bradstreet. To get approved, you must have your DUNS number, and they're going to ask you for 2 reference checks and a bank reference. So the first few orders might need to be prepaid to initially get approved for net 30 terms. Unsecured store business credit. Once you have 5 payment experiences reported, you can then secure store credit cards. And these are cards offered by most retail stores such as Office Depot, Staples, Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, BP, Chevron, Sam's Club, Costco, Best Buy, Amazon, and much more. These types of business credit store cards usually have limits of 10 to 100 times that of consumer credit. They function the same as consumer cards, but they don't report to the consumer reporting agencies. They do report to business credit bureaus, helping you further establish business credit. You can get approved with no personal guarantee in most cases. And with the initial business credit established, you can get approved leaving your social security number off of the application. This means you won't be supplying a personal credit check for approval. Once you have 10 payment experiences reporting, then you can start getting cash business credit cards. And these are cards with Visa, MasterCard, and American Express that you can use anywhere, not just in specific stores. And these work similar to a UBF card, but there is no personal credit check or guarantee required for approval. Some conventional banks and private lenders also offer high limit credit lines. You might see limits of $50,000 to even up to $250,000. And these are the types of accounts that I see most business owners truly want. So we have high limit credit lines. Approvals require good personal credit, and you must have good business tax returns for 2 to 3 years showing increasing profits. The net revenue on your tax returns will be equivalent to the amount you can get approved for. And some sources will require collateral, but most don't. You will need to supply a personal guarantee for approval. Credit lines and credit cards function almost the exact same. One big difference is that credit cards offer reward points and intro rates of 0%. Credit lines typically don't, but you can use credit lines to get cash advances at much lower rates than with credit cards. Also, credit lines are single accounts with a higher limit, whereas credit cards usually have lower limits, but you can get more cards. Having a higher limit and low rates for cash advance are the main benefits, but this is more of a full doc program, whereas other cards we've mentioned are more no doc. Unsecured cash advances. Cash advances, also known as merchant advances, revenue lending, and cash flow financing, are a great way to get fast and easy money. You can get approved if you have been in business for 1 year or more, even if your FICO is as low as 500. And this is about the only type of unsecured financing that doesn't require good personal or business credit for approval. Lenders will look at most recent 6 months of bank statements to determine your approval. You should have revenue of $120,000 or more annually and have 10 or more deposits monthly. You should manage your bank account responsibly, having a balance left over each month and very few NSF charges. If you meet this criteria, you can usually be approved and get money in about 72 hours. Terms are usually about 3 to 6 months initially. You can then refinance when half your loan is paid down and get 6 to 18 months. And rates are high, really high, as this is the highest risk money you'll find, and also the easiest to qualify. Usually you'll pay 15 to 45%, and money is paid daily. So contact us today to learn more about the 8 types of unsecured business loans and cards that every business owner should know. My contact information is here. My company has approved my score. Again, my name is Fred Levi. My phone number is 1-800-972-3970. I'm going to go over that one more time with you. 1-800-972-3970, or you could always send an email to info@approvedmyscore.com. Folks, it's been a pleasure spending this 18 minutes with you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm definitely here for you, and I look forward to working with you guys all very soon.